Raising funding for your startup is a challenge. How much should you raise? Where do you find investors? And how do you pitch them? In this segment, How to Raise Funding for Your Startup, we'll answer those questions and more. Here are live outtakes with startup founders on how to raise funding. I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of Investor Connect, How to Raise Funding series. Today we unravel the story behind Tranquility, the app revolutionizing entrepreneurship for millennials and Gen Zers. Founder and CEO Salim Jumanov takes us on a roller coaster from Tranquility's 2021 inception to a 360 experience prototype. This app isn't just a tool, it's a lifeline for marginalized communities, offering virtual coaching and a pathway to success. But here's the twist. Tranquility isn't just seeking users, they're on the lookout for partners and investors to amplify their impact. Join us as we dissect pre-selling strategies, the power of social media, and the vital role of metrics in the developmental stage. Hi, Salim. Thanks for joining.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. Looking forward to catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you taking the time.
You bet. Looking forward to learning more about what you're doing there and sound like you're making good progress with it.
Yes, sir. So I'll go in right into it. My name is Salim Jumanov, founder and CEO of Tranquility. We started this company back in 2021. It was a team of me and my co-founders. Basically where the idea came about, we actually wanted to start a social media company. But we saw a big gap in why is it so hard for us to get the services we needed to start our business. Here in Toronto, incubator programs weren't as accessible. So we just saw a huge gap into it. And we're actually going for our BBA at York University here in Toronto. We just actively students like, why is it so hard for us to start a business? Why is it so hard to access the services? They said the same thing. They don't really always have the time to go through incubator programs, accelerator programs. They said, you know what, I just wish there was a program I can just download an app and basically go through the whole process of building my own business from ideation to actually having a full-fledged business. So that's kind of where that whole idea came about. We said, you know what, why can't we create an app and we can just basically be able to help people build a business from scratch right from their phone? And that's what we essentially did. We built the incubator app. We basically streamlined the whole process of starting a business. You go from having your own idea, you go through our onboarding process. We'll ask you a few questions, say, hey, you know what, what's your idea? What type of business you may have? Most people probably don't know what business they may want to start. So we'll probably just give them certain questions like, hey, what's your passion? What are things that you're interested in? What's your work experience? And from there, we'll be able to suggest them a few business ideas. And then from there, they'll be able to actually go through the whole process, go through the business planning, marketing planning. From there, they'll be actually able to register a business, open a bank account, and obviously get a website and hire a team, et cetera, et cetera. So essentially, the whole idea of the app is be able to streamline the whole process for someone that lives in areas that they can't access incubator programs, or someone that just doesn't have the time, maybe areas in India, South America, et cetera, that just maybe they have a device, they have access to internet. They're maybe a 9-to-5 worker that just doesn't know how to start a business. We kind of made the app as easy and as generic as possible for someone to just be able to download the app and go through the whole process. So where we're at right now, we actually have a prototype demo that we could obviously go through with you. And that's basically where we're at right now. We're kind of excited of progress we've made, and we're just looking for opportunities with investors and obviously different resources that we can get strategic partners to just build up the company and get to where we need to get to.
Who's your beachhead customer? Who's your initial customer you're going to try and sell it to? Of course, you can sell it to many people, but who's your target?
Exactly. So our niche market is millennials and Gen Zers. So we just identified what are the top sectors that we feel that millennials want to start into. We identified as the e-com business, product-based businesses. So someone that wants to sell cosmetics, lashes, whatnot. If you're someone that just wants to sell basic clothing and stuff like that, we'll be able to target that sector. And then from there, we're hoping to build that customer base and then grow to different sectors like private practitioners, like certain companies that you've been working with. Someone that just, you know what, hey, if I want to start a business, I just want a basic model of starting my business. I can just download this app and go through the process. If you're a tradesman, if you want to start your own service-based business, we'll be able to service you. But to get into market, our go-to market strategies to focus more on 4 sectors that we believe millennials and Gen Zers are wanting to get into. And that's e-com, product-based businesses, and a lot of like creator-based business. So if you want to become a social media influencer or whatnot, we'll be able to help you create, a business behind it. If you want to be a streamer, we'll be able to help the app. We'll be able to help you create a business behind it and go ahead and basically launch the business. So that's kind of our focus in the early grounds.
So if I have a product online in the market and I want an app, I can go use your tool to build that. Is that how that works?
Let's say you don't have anything. You're just have an idea in your head.
Right.
You just don't know what steps to do. You just basically download the app and we'll take it from there. You go through the onboarding process, answer a few questions. And then from there, we'll be able to identify exactly what business you want to start. We'll have a back end of different businesses that we know you would probably want to fall into. And then from there, our app will be able to, I guess, configure together all the steps together, and you would just go from there. But we created the app generic enough for it to be, if you want to create an e-com business or a product-based business, the processes are kind of the same. So we didn't really need to, I guess, alternate based off sectors. So if you're creating e-com business, we don't need to create a whole new, I guess, process for that. We made it generic enough for, I guess, all the boxes are checked off, but you'll still be able to start your e-com business, be customized enough to fit your own personal business in of itself. So, yeah.
Is it creating an app for like an iPhone, or is it creating an application that runs on a web browser?
Our app itself, or the person that would like to build a business?
Well, the person that comes to you that wants to use this, what are they going to get out of it? An app for the phone, or are they getting an app for the desktop?
Yeah, so they'll get both. So be a web app and also an app they can download on their phone.
Oh, so you could get an app for the iPhone as well. So, okay.
Yes. We develop both, basically.
And how far along is the product? Can I use it today, or is it just a prototype that it can do very limited things?
You could use it, but you could just obviously do limited things, but you can still use it at this point. And obviously certain investments we're looking for will just take us over the hump. And we'll be able to finalize development by February 2024. You could actually get users using it and everything.
Do you have any users now or no?
We've had people just try out the app during our development phase, but not as of yet actual users using it on a consistent basis.
When they tried it out, what was their experience?
We got some few feedback. They loved it. They said, obviously, once this is ready to go, they would love to use it. One thing that has been consistent enough, what they said is just easy to use. The process is just peace of mind type of thing where they just go through the process and everything's taken care of for them. So that's kind of the consistent thing that we've gotten. It's just easy to use, makes the whole process starting a business easier. We actually had a few people that, like, let's say, doing our logos. I pitched them the idea and showed them what we're developing. And they're saying, hey, if I had this when I first started off my business, a lot of them said, you know what, you would have made my life a lot easier, just avoiding a lot of pitfalls, as well as that we also offer virtual assistants and also a business coach like yourself. And we would partner with different business coaches, retired business entrepreneurs, and say, hey, you know what, why don't you, provide advice and guidance to different users? We'll assign them to each user, and then they'll be able to get business coaching as well. So it's kind of a 360 experience that we're hoping to provide. And it's kind of easy to, I guess, merge both the virtual assistants and the business coaches. It's kind of just assigning them to each user, and then they'll be able to meet with them through the app. So it's kind of that whole 360 experience within the app.
Okay. So you're out raising funding, raising $500K, you got 5,000 so far, or how much do you have it so far at this point?
Right. So we've raised, so we had a lead investor here in Toronto. He didn't really want to, I guess, invest as far as equity in exchange. So he invested 5,000 just recently back in September. That helped us out just finalizing a few development things that we wanted to get through so you could actually use it right now. But as of yet, we just basically opened up our round in August of 2023. So we're basically kind of new in the raising in our pre-seed round right now.
So at this stage, it's still pretty much a family and friends round or an angels round. So you go out with a convertible note, safe note, something that says, hey, you get this much for this amount of debt or warrant. What was the term sheet you used for the $5,000?
Yeah, it was non-dilutive. So he just invested just because he saw I've been working well with the company. I actually pitched him back when he started the company off. So he didn't really want an equity in exchange for it. He just invested just to invest in the company as a family friends round. Yeah, so it was non-dilutive.
Non-dilutive, so it's a grant. Okay. So typically we start with a convertible note. It's a debt instrument that converts to equity later. It's has a valuation cap on it. It's not a valuation, so we're not setting the price, but we're going to say the price will not be more than this, and we'll let future rounds determine what the valuation of this is. Typically, you put something like $3, $4, $5 million valuation cap on it. So if it takes off, you can still not give away too much equity, and it's a rolling close. If somebody says, hey, I'm going to write you a $25K check, and they sign the check, you sign the note, that money goes into the business the next day. We don't have to sit down and value it and put all the terms. It's just a very simple term sheet to get money into the deal. Technically, it's debt, but it's meant to convert to equity later when you have a qualified round or the note matures at year 3 or 5 in most cases. And so what we're doing is we're going around showing this to investors, saying, we got this great app, who wants to be in? and you're looking to pick up 10, 15, 25K checks from investors. These are people that just are in the neighborhood, people that know you, family and friends, people of friends of the friends, that type of thing is what you do in the first case. Most people can get about 250K out of that. If you just walk around family and friends and show this off, show them the app working, show them people using it in a beta mode, they're trying it out and it's doing great, they'll put in some money. When you have 250K, you should be able to put enough money into it that you should take what you have and turn it into a real live product that can do what you say it can do. It may not be the final version, but it's the first version, and you go out to the market with a shipping live product at that point and start testing user engagement, feedback, or what have you. 250 is enough to get that out the door, I would think. It may not do everything you want it to do, but it can do enough to get it going. And at that point, you'll now go and be able to raise the other 250K from other investors because it's shipping and people are using it. Maybe they're paying some money for it. I don't know. What do you plan to charge for it?
So yeah, we have 3 subscription models. We have a freemium. We also have a pro model where we do pay $100 a month. And they also have a premium model of $150 a month where they'll get access to a business coach and a virtual assistant.
Okay. So what investors are really looking for at that stage is less about the revenue. It's great that people are buying it and they're paying money, that validates it and so forth. They're looking for engagement. How often do people use it? Do they do it every day, every week, every month? So you're tracking engagement metrics and you're showing that people who buy this are 95%, daily users. Well, that's very compelling. You'll see a lot of money come in, or maybe it's 5% are daily users and is 60% monthly users. Okay, money's coming in, but it's not as much as before, but money's coming in. So you're tracking engagement is what you're really doing. How much are people really using it? And if you try to take it away from them, are they upset, or are they, it's okay. So the idea is you're trying to see how important this is to the user and communicate that to the investor. And that's how you'll raise the rest of the money until you get to some meaningful revenue traction with recurring revenue. That can add up over time pretty quickly. But in our program, we go out and we help raise funding, but we're charging monthly retainers and so forth. And we're probably, not this round, but the next round that we can help you with. But happy to help coach and advise you through this process as well. I think 500 is the right number to put out there. I get a convertible note and just say I'm raising 500K, and you just keep raising on that until it's you hit 500, at which point that completes and you can get another convertible note, or you can go to a price round. So that's the next step here, is to get out and start raising with a convertible note to people in your neighborhood or your network, and see who wants to be it. The other approach is to go out and pre-sell the product. If you think the product is going to go great for $100 a month, we're going to offer that for $50 a month, but get the $100 per month service, but you only have to pay $50 a month. You can pre-sell it and get some money in up front from people that want to try it out and be a contributor to the cause. Have you anybody expressed interest in that?
For sure. Absolutely. I think that's the way to go. It's actually something I was going to mention, but it kind of slipped out of my mind, for sure.
How much are they willing to put down up front as a prepayment?
Honestly, I had a few that were even willing to put $200 a month just to use the platform. But even up front, they were willing to put as whatever amount that we were willing to put down. I have at least 20 business owners that even already started their own business, but they want to start a new business and just try it out. So that's for sure.
That's a very common thing to do in software, just like they do in crowdfunding, where you prepay to use it like Kickstarter. So in the tech world, people are doing that as well. They're going out to users and say, hey, if you give me $1,000 and half a day a week, for 4 hours, one afternoon a week, to give me feedback on it, test it out, try it, give me whatever. You go out and you sign up 20 of those, you got $20,000 in your hand now, and you have 20 users that are actively engaged because they put money down to work with you on it. So I'd ask for $1,000, ask for half a day of their week, and I go sign up 25 of those guys. And then now you've got a core group of people that we can engage with that help us prioritize the features, test it out, give us feedback. And you got 25K in your hand, which can usually enable enough features going onto the software to make that a meaningful engagement. They're going to be trying out some new things. When that's finished, you go and get another 25 people at $5,000. And these guys are going to, now you got a bigger chunk of money and a group of people that are going to help you test it out and work with it. because they want to, it's not a lot of money to them. They think it'd be useful to their business. And so I'd stair step it from 0 to 1K to 5K and get their time into it, have them look at it, test it, so they feel like they're getting something for their money, and you're getting feedback from them as well. And when they put money down, they usually follow up. They don't put any money down. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Sure. So that's why it's important to get to some paying people. And for some people, $1,000 is not a lot, and for other people, 5,000 is not a lot. But for you, it's a lot. And I'd put that out to your network. How big is your list at this point?
So we have at least 50 people, just like on the most professional side. But as students, I have like over 100 for sure.
Okay. So students maybe have a hard time to pay more than the $1,000. But I was thinking we start to cast the net a little wider. You have a website, you're signing up a wait list for those who want to try it out. Just put your name in here or email in here. We'll tell you when it's ready. We'll give you updates and so forth. And see how many names you can capture off the website where they're waitlisted, that they've heard about this. This is a cool thing. And then we can get out to other groups that are businesses that really want to work with startups. Incubators, for example. Incubators would love to offer this as a service to their companies. Come on in. We got a tool that will get your site up and running in no short order. They'd be happy to be a sponsor of the product itself, get you out in front of more groups. So you hang around the groups that support startups, and at some point you're going to find somebody that'll pay money because they want the list. They want to know who is getting this and using it because they have something that adds on to it. Maybe it's legal services, maybe it's CFO services, maybe it's banking services. Somebody will come in and sponsor this program, and that's non-dilutive funding. They're not getting equity stake, but you're getting money that you can use to build out the product itself. So once you have a little bit more of a network, you can start thinking about those guys.
I agree. Oh, I just have a quick question. So how would you go about it? Would you do online advertising to get the to get people to the website, or how would you go about it to build that wait list or that customer list?
If the cost of the advertising wasn't too expensive, you're getting free sign-up. So usually a good content program works well. Right. Getting people to write up a story about how they're using it, posting it on social media. Here's the cool thing I built with this app. Those tend to drive a lot of traffic. And if it's just content you're creating, you don't have to go pay for advertisement. It just gets pushed out there. As you get traction with the SEO and those type of things, you can then start putting a little bit of money into it to see if that really does take it to the next level. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends upon how this comes across on social media. But I think the answer is, yeah, I'd certainly look into that.
For sure. I agree.
Cool. Okay. Well, good. Well, keep me informed of your progress. Love to see how this plays out. I think it's a little early for our program. We're $3,000 a month for a 3-month commitment. That's probably not in the budget right now. So it's really still a little bit more on the getting the customers to prepay for it and getting the local investors to put a few dollars in to see how this plays out. If it's got a lot of excitement and buzz, they're always happy to be a part of that. And so you can deliver that to them, and I would get a convertible note to put maybe a $5 million valuation on it, raising $500K. Interest rates today are around 6%, discounts are around 15%, and the valuation cap, like I say, is $5 million. And you just take that around, and it's like a credit card. People write you a check, you give them that, that money goes into the business, and you don't have to worry about valuations or term sheets or anything like that. You already have that going. So it's pretty simple to go pick up those checks at this stage.
Right. To actually get guidance to go about this, is there any way we could get guidance from you throughout this process, or if you would like?
Oh, sure. Glad to coach you through the process. Drop me an email from time to time. Love to see the pitch deck, give you feedback on that as well. So just let us know what you need help on there. So, try out some of these things and see what kind of feedback you're getting and where you're getting traction. Again, the thing you want to do is track customer engagement metrics. If you have something on the back end that can track who logged in, how long they stayed logged in, how much they did, how often they come back, those are the numbers we're really looking for at this stage, because engagement is what comes before revenue, and we're kind of at that place.
Right. What would that be called in a category, that back end data analytics?
It's daily active users. You're measuring active users, and you're seeing what percent of the users are If I have a cohort of 100 and 20 are using it every day, that's 20% daily active users. I'm having 50 of it use it once a week. Those are weekly active users. And I've had, 5 of them are monthly, and then the rest are one-time users. They use it once and no more. So it's daily active user metrics is what we're looking for.
Absolutely. Okay.
And it's absolute number is not the key issue. It's the out of 100 users, how many are of each? That's the key thing we're trying to find. If you have 100 users, you can start to figure that out pretty quick.
Absolutely. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I have a pitch deck and we have the prototype as well. We could always run it through you if you have some free time.
Yeah, feel free to send me the deck and we'll look at it and we'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hall.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
As we conclude this episode of Investor Connect, let the echoes of Tranquility's entrepreneurial journey linger. The 360 Experience prototype unveiled by founder and CEO Salim Jumanov is more than an app. It's a movement, a lifeline for marginalized communities. Reflect on the insights shared and recognize that this journey is just one among many in the ever-evolving entrepreneurial landscape. Consider becoming a part of Tranquility's transformative mission as a user, partner, or investor. Until next time on the Investor Connect podcast. Investor Connect helps investors interested in startup funding. In this podcast series, experienced investors share their experience and advice. You can learn more at investorconnect.org. Paul T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.